Foam sticks to almost anything, and when you're done, squish it back and start all over, or let it harden and keep it forever. Look, clay is messy and hard to start, but foam turns fun into a work of art. Check it out. Tiny foam microbeads magically stick together and form to any shape you want. Now craft fancy foam to wear, model creepy foam critters, or build an erupting volcano of foam. Plus, mix and match colors for any design you can imagine. Create a stylish jewelry case or a funky foam vase. Foam your pencils so they're cool, or show some spirit at school. Make costume masks, even foam rainbow glass. Take foam outside and the fun will go on. Foam your bike, a scooter, a skateboard, your shoes. With foam in your hands, the fun never stops. Just ask anyone who foams, from parents to tots. Foam, it's fun you can feel.
What's that tear, that pecs, that punch? The unique taste, so creamy with a crunch. PB and C is what I'm thinking of, and it only could be found in my Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic, morning time epic. R-double-E-S-E-S.
It's the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolatey flavor. Reese's Puff cereal, part of a complete breakfast.
P to the U double Reese's.
Oh, not tonight, sweetie. You've had Chef every night this week.
But I love Chef.
Chef Boyardee followed her home. What up, everybody? It's your boy the Dragon here, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching an archive stream. You should have checked me out live. Link is always in the description down below. Please follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to get to 1K followers before the year ends, and I am almost most of the way there, but I still need more followers. So if you want to see me do stuff like this live, link to that is in the description down below, as well as a link to my Discord, which I will let you know what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. You get to vote on polls for random streams like I did yesterday when I played Very Odd Parents Breaking the Rules, that kind of stuff. If you're on Twitch right now, you can hit explanation point Discord and grab that. Peace, thank you so much for the lurk. I'm also trying to get to 2K subscribers on YouTube, so if you don't feel like joining the Discord, you prefer watching everything on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. Whatever works for you, dog. Thank you. But yeah, where we last left off. Oh, by the way, hit the like button if you're enjoying the Fate Stay Night series. Can I open the game, please? You guys have been showing a lot of love to this, and I just want to the algorithms to work out in my favor so I can continue playing more Fate games, since you guys clearly like it, right? So, I mean, if you guys show that you guys want more, I'll play more. You guys have been showing up for the other ones. Like some of the videos have like hundreds of views and everything like that. So if you guys hit the like button, please. So when we last left off, we were Shirou and Mia was about to fight Archer, which is himself, which is a really cool writing thing. And I think we did a intermission to go to Lance's point of view. He easily tracks his target down. Lancer may seem as if he specializes in combat, but he's actually quite skilled in magecraft. Right? He learned to master more than just Gabe Old in the arcane fortress called Land of Shadows. He's a hero because he learned the 18 primordial runes. Of course, he really flaunts his magical skills because he prefers to fight with the spear rather than magecraft. Today is one of those rare occasions. He dropped something which had been running on the ground. A rock inscribed with the Berkana rune returns to being a mundane pebble. Its task complete. I guess he never did see Lancer. A boy he hasn't seen before stands up in panic. The shrill voice sounds familiar. Lancer retracts that thought and realizes who this is. He breaks off. Rin Tosaka is behind the boy. She's tied to a chair. That's fine. She's being held captive, so that makes sense. But several details stand out. First, her chair is tipped over. Since Rin Tosaka is tied to the chair, she's on the ground too. Duh. There's sand in her long black hair and something red around her mouth. He was hitting her? She probably cut her lip. Okay. It's slight, but one can make out the bruising around her lips.
お前ランサーか。なんだよ、誰に断ってここに来たんだ。話が違うぞお前は。キャー
A casual fist plants itself in Shinji Mato's cheek. Lance's trivial backhand sends the boy crashing into a wall. You should have used that opportunity to kill him.
おお、ああ悪いなガキ。口より先に手が出ちまった。
That's very funny. He looks unconscious, but not dead. Granted, if Ren Tosaka's face had been a little paler and his clothes more and her clothes more disheveled, it wouldn't have ended with just a knockout. He would have paid a heavy price. Probably should have done that anyway. Like, there's no reason for you not to. To be clear, Lance doesn't care about the treatment of prisoners. But he doesn't like it when someone else steals his prey. Of course, enemies he kills and women he's fond of both count as his prey. Ren Tosaka's wonders aloud from her bound position. Her voice sounds sleepy, as if she was unconscious.
Yeah, 朝だぜ。起きろぐうたら。
Lancer approaches her with an out-of-place greeting.
なんでここアインツベルンの城よ。
承知している。ああ、いいから動くな。今その手枷を切ってやる。その後は好きにしろ。広間に行ってバカどもの喧嘩を止めるなり、裏口から帰るのも自由だ。
His crimson spear materializes in a whirl of air.
それは助かるけど。ランサー、後ろ。
Ren's warning makes him turn. Someone he didn't expect stands there. In the corner of the room, with firm footsteps, a man walks past where Shinji Matou pancaked into the wall.
そこまでだランサー。協力しろとは言ったが、深入りしろとは言わなかったぞ。
I thought you died. Didn't Caster say she killed you? Kire Kotomina, who they thought Caster killed. Rin yelps in surprise. Nancy glares suspiciously at the priest.
おい、いつから終始買いしやがったんだお前。俺のマスターは表には出てこないのが心情だったんじゃなかったか。
変えるような終始などない。そういうお前こそ命令違反だぞランサー。アーチャーの始末を命じたはずだが、仕損じたか。
あれは放っといても自滅する。その前にやり残した仕事を片付けに来たんだが、お前がここにいるということは、そこのガキはお前の差し金か。
人聞きが悪いな。彼とは協力関係だ。聖杯を手に入れるため、共に認め合った仲だが。
Shinji Matou groans underneath the rubble. The priest doesn't even spare him a second glance. Or a glance. Maybe the first glance.
あんたがそう簡単にくたばるわけないと思ったけど、しぶとく生きてるばかりか。裏でこそこそ手を回してたのね。悪趣味ここに極まるっていうか、人畜無害な神事を懐柔してどうしようっていうのよ、キレ。
なるほど。あれを人畜無害と取るか。この状況においてもお前は遠さが凛らしい。もう少し出来の悪い弟子ならば惜しむこともないのだが。
The priest chuckles. His expression is that of a priest blessing someone on their deathbed. A chill runs down Ren's back. She realizes where her fate is. The priest looks down at his apprentice of 10 years with a saintly smile.
待てよ、琴峰。その女はどうするつもりだ。教え子を助けたいと言ったお前の言葉は嘘だったのか。
Lancer stands between his master and the girl.
嘘なものか。彼女はここまで育てた大切な駒だ。10年にわたり欺き続けたのだから、そう簡単にリタイアされてはつまらん。故に、お前に彼女の警護を任せたのだ。わずか2日ばかりの延命だったが、親心としては十分すぎるのではないか。
That's a really fucked up thing to say. The priest walks past Lancer to look at the girl sprawled on the floor. Rin glares up at her from her mentor.
SS 神父。あんたならやりかねないと思ったけど、本当にマスターだったなんてね。監督役のくせにゲームに参加するなんて、反則もいいところじゃない。
その割には落ち着いているな、リン。やはり気づいてはいた。
I don't think Red did figure it out. I think she's just not surprised.
自分のサーバントを見せなかったのもあんたを疑ってたからだもの。けどね、まさか初めっから騙されてるとは思わなかったわ。
Yeah, she figured half of it out.
初めから。
The priest frowns. It seems that he wasn't expecting her to say that.
何よ、文句あるっていうの？キレ。
いや、初めからというが、それはどのあたりを指しているのかと思ってな。
His lips twist into a sneer. The priest gazes down with a look of true elation.
待った。キレ、あんた。
それは今回の聖杯戦争が始まってからか。それともお前が言う初めからとは前回の聖杯戦争を言っているのかね。
Then everything falls into place. Rin's face goes pale as she stares up at the man who mentored her for 10 years with an incredulous look.
そう。殺したのはあんただったんだ。
Wait, hold on. I have a hello life. Thanks. I assume you're looking. I have a logistics question. Whatever version of Shirou Archer is, doesn't that mean Archer knew all of this was going to happen? I mean, I guess technically not, right? Because his timeline has to be different from the one that we're in right now. But assuming that Archer lived through the original timeline of the normal Fate Stay Night series, like if he lived through that timeline, shouldn't he know all this? How didn't he win this? Did he not care to win this? This is really bizarre.
当然だろう。恩師であったからな。騙し討ちはたやすかった。
I mean, I guess technically he didn't care to win this, but this grinding noise. The girl is staring at the ground, gritting her teeth in anguish.
行き場に迷えクソ神父。断言してやるけど、あんたに居場所なんてないんだからね。地獄だってあんたみたいなのは願い下げで、煉獄だって他の連中がずぶとくなるってんでたらい回しよ。
I think she's mad, chat.
あんたみたいな生き損ないはね、性に合わない天国あたりで針のむしろにくるまってろっての。
In rage, she hurls abuse after abuse at him. Of course, the priest is unbothered by such trifles. Someone else is taken aback by the girl's sudden fit, however. Shinji has never imagined that Rin could bear such emotion, even in his dreams.
琴峰、遠坂は僕がもらったんだって知ってるだろう。あいつに用があるのは僕だけだ。あんたはただ教会でこっちの守備を待ってればいいんだよ。
いや、用ならばある。彼女にはここで聖杯になってもらわねばならないからな。
Shinji doesn't understand what the priest is saying. Only the priest and the girl he intends to sacrifice to.
アーチャーとセーバーが消えればいい加減頃合いだ。いらぬ抵抗され、鮮度を落とされても困る。ことは迅速に済ませてしまおう。
The priest steps away from the girl. Only Lancer is in front of Rin now, armed with his spear.
琴峰、貴様。
そのゴミを始末しろ、ランサー。器に心臓はいらん。
Only Shinji reacts to those words. Rin just glares at the priest, gnashing her teeth. The priest's smile has already told her that she's going to die here. She knows that no help is coming and that no one would hear her even if she begged for help. She absolutely refuses to snivel. It's the only form of resistance she can offer, and it represents her defiance. She won't give up until the very end. Help might still come at the last possible second, nor a miracle might occur, like something that destroys the entire room, leaving only her intact.
ありえない話だけど。
She won't give up though, but she knows what is and isn't possible. That's why she isn't very scared. There's just one thing she's worried about. It's awkward to imagine what face I'll make when he comes to save her after she's dead. She doesn't want to make him cry. It pisses her off thinking that she'll make him cry, and she doesn't know how to apologize for it. Of course, she can't apologize if she's dead, but she still doesn't want to make him cry.
ごめん、レミヤ君。私、先にリタイアする。
So she apologizes now while she still can. It doesn't matter, but at least makes her feel more at ease.
どうしたランサー。相手は少女。貫くのはたやすかろう。
The priest has no mercy. However,
お断りだ。今回のは従えねえ。俺にやらせたかったら、その霊樹でも使うんだな。
Lancer hits his friend's enemy with defiance.
何？
The priest narrows his eyes. Master and servant glare daggers at each other, and the temperature in the room seems to drop.
そうか。仕方あるまい。自分でできることに霊樹を消費するわけにはいかんのだが。
The priest lifts his left arm. He activates the command spells inscribed on it.
では命じよう。自害しろランサー。
Lancer coughs up blood, but the red droplets that dribble from his mouth pale in comparison to the torrent of blood gushing from his chest. Why? His murmur can't even be heard. Lancer has stabbed himself through the chest with his own spear, completely destroying his heart.
さらばだ。お前の役目はとうに終わっている。
Sure, but why? The azure armored spearman collapses to the floor. Pulling Scarlet seeps into the floor. Lancer shows no sign of getting up. He is fallen by his own spear on his master's orders. The priest moves. He approaches Rin with easygoing steps and takes a knee next to her. He reaches out a hand to the bound girl's chest as if up her heart out.
琴峰、約束が違うじゃないか。遠坂は僕にくれるって言っただろう。
The priest glances at Shinji without answering.
ダメだ。遠坂はダメだ。そいつには借りがいっぱいあるんだから、生きていてくれなくちゃ困る。
Shinji whines, his back to Lancer's corpse. But his protests die off. The boy cowers away from the priest's severe gaze. The priest looks back down at the girl.
最後に何か言い残すことはあるか。遺言ぐらいは聞こう。
A simple concession.
こういう時の私が何を考えているか、あんたなら知ってるはずでしょ。
Rin answers him in her usual tone.
そうだな。最後まで諦めないのがお前だ、リン。同時に覆らない現実を瞬時に認めるのもお前の素晴らしさだ。いいぞ。その矛盾はなかなかに芳醇だ。
Yeah. He doesn't hesitate. The priest roughly shoves his hand into the girl's chest over where her heart would be. Isn't there a mechanic in this killing game in which Sabrix should know that Rin is in danger and she should just rush over? She closes her eyes. There's a stabbing sound. heart is pierced and blood spills out. The stone room becomes a tomb for yet another dead body. Did she actually just die? Rin is the one who gasps. The floor is drenched in blood. The dripping comes from somewhere high up. From the floor, Rin looks up to see what is coming from the priest's chest. Blood rises from his esophagus. The hole in his chest is obviously a fatal wound. And the thing that stabbed him from behind is none other than the cursed spear known as especially for piercing. Hey! The priest feels no emotion. He simply looks at Lancers behind him, blood running from his mouth. Shouldn't have been a dick.
あいにくだったな、ことみね。この程度でくたばれるんならよ。俺は英雄になんぞなってね。
Lancer might go. Honestly, all of the servants are pretty cool, except for Gilgamesh. Fuck Gilgamesh. Lancer's sardonic tone clearly sounds like a bluff. There isn't a hint of vitality in it. Without a heart, his body is already starting to fade. He pulls the spear out of Kotamine, who collapses lifelessly to the ground. Trained in the arcane and blessed by the divine he might have been, but he was still only human. There was no surviving a thrust to the heart from Lancer's cursed spear. Take. Alright. Lancer leans his crumbling body against the wall, but it buys him a little time. After collapsing once, he's bound to disappear for good. He lost his heart and his master. The only reason his body is somehow still holding together is because of his legendary tenacity. Shinji, do you not understand how much of a pussy you are, bro?
Shinji.
Shinji's cackling brings Rin back to her senses after watching the priest die.
何が聖杯は君のものだ。だよ。役立たずは最後まで役立たずだったな、神父さん。
You still don't have a way to get to the Holy Grail, though. Shinji kicks the priest's body. He doesn't move at all. Pleased with himself, the boy kicks the priest's face as hard as he can. You are such a fucking coward, brother. Making a dry crunching noise. The sound of sensation delights Shinji more than he expected.
けど文句は言わないでおくよ。さっきのことは根に持ってないし、死んじゃったやつにあれこれ言うのはみっともないしさ。
Shinji snickers. Having lost all reservations, he closes in on Ren eagerly.
待たせたね、遠坂。いろいろ邪魔が入ったけど、これでようやく二人きりだ。残るサーバントもあと3人。ここで君が泣き疲れた頃には全部型がついてるさ。
Listen, I know you're down bad and enough to do some crazy shit like this, but there's literally dead bodies in the room. At least Lancer will disappear. But fucking Kotomine is still here. You really gonna do this right there? I fucking can't stand Shinji, bro. Especially in the first timeline, they were like, oh, he's your friend, right? Like, no, that nigga is not my friend. Shinji scrambles forward on all fours like a lizard looming over his brain. That's a gross description.
けどよかった。お前にはいろいろ用があったんだ。ほんと困るよ、遠坂。簡単に死なれちゃあさ。ここまで我慢してきた僕に申し訳がないってもんだろ。さあ、こびてみろよ、遠坂。お前の態度次第で。
Get out of my ear. Get out of my ear.
それに、聖杯はもう僕のものだ。ここで僕のものになるって言うなら、お前にだって分けてやっても。
Spit on him.
呆れた。本当にバカじゃないの、あんた。
Oh, is she gonna put him in his place? Do that too. That works. Tied up and on the ground, Rin scoffs like she's talking to a child.
なんだって？
まだ懲りないのかって言ってるのよ、シンジ。あんたは綺麗にいいように使われてただけでしょ。いい？あのサーバントは扱いきれるものじゃない。そんなこと 近くにいるんだからあんただって分かってるでしょ。ならいい加減目を覚ましてこんな殺し合いから手を引けっていうの。今ならまだ間に合うのはそっちの方よ。死にたくなかったら1秒でも早くここから逃げ出しなさい。
何を言い出すかと思えば結局は命乞いじゃんか。バカはお前だよ遠坂。目障りな琴峰は死んだんだぜ。今さら何が僕の邪魔をするって言うんだ。
Shinji reaches for Ren's body, but the second he does,
おい
he goes flying for a second time. Shinji slams into the wall again.
ガキがそいつはてめえなんかが触れていい女じゃね
I mean, that was Gilgamesh, but what does he mean by that? Lancer glances at Shinji, who lazily walks over to Ren. Oh, Lancer, sorry.
死に損ないの分際で僕に意見しようっていうの。
The spearman stops. He turns and faces Shinji.
おとなしく寝ていれば苦しまずに死ねたってのにな。さっきといい今度といいお前楽には殺さないからな。ほら出番だぜギルガメッシュ。こいつカッコつけて死にたいんだってさ。
Shinji raises his voice. He calls for his servant, the mighty slayer of heroes.
おいなんだよ何やってんだよあいつ。聞こえないのか。早く来いって言ってるだろ。
His voice rings out. The golden servant does not appear. The bloody blue spearman takes a step towards Shinji.
くそくそくそくそくそ。なんだよお前。死に損ないのくせに何かっこつけてんだよ。消えろよ。目障りだってわかんないのかよこの化け物。
A strike whips out.
あ
A single precise strike like a flash of light stabs Shinji in the right shoulder. You didn't want to kill him? His scream fills the room, but he didn't want to kill him. Lancer withdraws his spear, looking bored. He puts his face in front of Shinji's.
うせろ死に損ないでもな。お前程度なら1000人殺したところで支障はない。
Hugging the wall and cowering away from the spear pointed at him, Shinji leaves the room in a mad scramble. Why didn't you just kill him?
たく無駄な体力使わせやがって。
With a heavy sigh, Lancer walks back over to Rin. The wind-cutting spear severs her bindings like tissue paper.
ありがとう。助かったわ、ランサー。
Rin thanks him for her freedom. She bows to Lancer, ignoring the filth around them.
ま、成り行きだからな。礼を言われる筋じゃねえ。
Suddenly, he collapses limply. I wonder if I can get Kukulane in SMT4. Rin can't catch him on time. Lancer's too weak to even lean against the wall now. And he just slumps to the ground. His legs won't move. His limbs are already long dead. It seems nonsensical that he managed to stand up, kill his master, and set Rin free. A sudden cough of blood stains the blue armor further.
待ってて、すぐに傷を塞ぐから。
It doesn't matter. Rin rushes over to the bloody spearman, but he stops her with a hand.
無駄だ。俺のゲイボルクで破壊された心臓は簡単には治らん。だいたいな、そんな余分なマルカ残ってねえだろお前。
けどそれじゃ。
まあ気にするな。こういうのには慣れてる。英雄ってのはな、いつだって理不尽な命令で死ぬものなんだからよ。
That's kind of what Archer said. His easygoing tone is the same as it always is. Even seconds away from death, the spearman doesn't change the way he acts. Rin stands up wordlessly. Seeing that, Lancer breathes a sigh of relief, as if a weight has been lifted from his shoulders.
お互いつまんねえ相棒を引いちまったな。
そうね。けど、私のはつまんないっていうより、扱いづらいだけだったかな。
違いない。お前のような女が相棒だったら言うことはなかったんだが、あいにく昔からいい女とは縁がなくてな。
Wasn't your master a woman?
まったく、こればっかりは何度繰り返しても治らねえみてえだ。
He chuckles dryly. I can't remember the name, but it's like Skadaker or something like that. That was Kukulane's master. Is that just like an SMT thing? Where they just made her a woman? I'm pretty sure his master was a woman. Maybe she was an asshole. And then...
さあ、早く行け。こいつは俺が連れて行く。お前は、お前の相棒のところに戻らないと。
The spearman urges the girl to leave. He prepares Ansu's the fire ring in his hand. As soon as he inscribes it on the ground and charges forward with all the remaining magical energy, it'll burn the entire room to cinders. Red understands his determination and turns to leave.
さよならランサー。短い間だったけど、私もあなたみたいな人は好きよ。
She runs off to the Great Hall.
小娘が。もうちょっと年取って出直してこい。
A hearty guffaw escapes his lips. Flames engulf him. The blaze consumes Lancer and his master's body. Not a trace is left behind. Like a mirage, the crimson spear and azure armor disappear into the flames. Well, I mean, that was really stressful, but I guess it worked out. Identical swords clash. Shirou and Mia and the man's attacks are completely equal. That shouldn't be. Yet each time they clash, my braids flick and I'm wounded badly. Cut deeply by attacks I should have intercepted. His concho shatters my concho and cuts me open like a sidelong slash. Desperately try to avoid the strike, but I can't. The wound isn't fatal, but it lacerates my muscles and probably become a critical injury. I fight back the pain and try to knock the enemy's byaki out of his right hand. He shatters my weapon and blocks me there too. Our swords and skills should be the same, but I'm facing an insurmountable wall. They should not be the same. Swords maybe, skills nah.
お前の感想と俺の感想が同等とでも思ったか。お前はまだまだ基本骨子の想定が甘い。いかにイメージ通りの外見材質を保とうが構造に利がなければ崩れるのは当然だ。イメージといえど筋が通ってなければ瓦解する。
Alright, this is less a fight and him training him now. Simultaneously, he unleashes attacks to cut open my flank and my forehead. I immediately project a pair of swords to parry with. I have a headache so bad it nearly blinds me. It isn't from the burden of projection. It's the headache from before. The hunch I had when I was looking for Chisaki. The fever I get every time I face it. The time is the greatest burden yet. This time is the greatest burden yet, and it's driving my body crazy. I fend off slash after slash. I attempt to cut him down in return. And each time the red headache burns my eyes. It is the contradiction of Shirou and Mia and heroic spirit Mia existing at... Is it the contradiction of Shirou and Mia and heroic spirit of Mia existing at the same time? Since the moment we recognized each other, my body has felt off every time we made contact. I traced his swordsmanship and even acquired his replication skills. It makes sense that I picked it up very quickly. After all, his skills are the most optimal combat techniques for Shirou and Mia, honed over years of experience. How could I not take to them quickly? In trying to catch up to him, I've learned things about my future self that I shouldn't. My eyes go. Each swing of a sword, each slower shower of sparks creates flashes of light, robbing me of my vision. My skills can't keep up, and each attack dyes my vision red. I wouldn't mind if this is all this was. My body is already torn to shreds. A headache is nothing compared to the feeling of having my stomach torn open with a branding iron. The problem is, my headache won't stop as long as there's something else to draw out from it.
都合5本目だな。投影による複製ではそろそろ限界か。お前の魔力量はよくわかっている。そのざまでは残り3本。わざわざあれを見せてやったというのに、未だそんな勘違いをしているとはな。
See, this sounds like deadly training. I hear a hint of disappointment in his thoughts. The wrong idea. As if that matters right now. It kinda does matter. More importantly, I need to do something about this headache. It's coming from you.
ともあれ、至ったところで不可能ではあるか。今のエミやシローが生成できる魔力では足りない。そう。どちらにせよ。
My headache worsens. He brandishes his swords as if to settle this once and for all.
貴様に賞賛など一部たりともなかったということだ。
Then brings his swords down on my head in a crisscross slash. I raise my sword to defend and they shatter. My body goes numb like it's been pounded with the sledgehammer, and the headache burns not just my eyeballs but my brain. It's flowing in. So this right now is even scarier than the pain. They're his memories. Oops. The reason he's changed so much. I'm seeing fragments of the events that Shirou and Mia will experience in the future. I don't know if they're right or wrong. I'm sure nobody can be the judge of that. Beautiful things were ugly and ugly things were beautiful. Objectively, there is nothing repulsive about them. So what made him go astray? Sophistry, misrepresentation, treachery, narcissism. Those make up most of what I saw. I am the bone of my sword. And yet he didn't seem to mind. He swore oaths and had ideals to uphold. He didn't care what he lost. Even if others betrayed him, he believed that there would be a future as long as he didn't betray himself. If he never complained or even showed himself getting hurt. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. Then to the people around him, he was no different from a machine. He was useful to have around, so they used them. They only saw him as a tool. But even a machine can have ideals to uphold, so he accepted being treated as a convenient tool. I have created over 1,000 blades. Unknown to death, unknown to life. It wasn't something he could tell anyone else. The more he failed to save people, the more people he killed, the less he could confess his ideals. Eventually, his only option was to stick to them and as resolutely as he could. The result? Shirou and Mia failed to uphold the ideals he dreamed of once. I learned that he was a nuisance spouting foolish drivel. Have withstood pain to create weapons. Damn! Look, this was his fate. Look, this is where you'll end up. My heart breaks. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him, but my heart feels like it's going to break when I know that this is the path that awaits me. Yet those hands will never hold anything. Everything you believed in, everything you believe in, after you were shown that it was all a lie and a fanciful dream, you still... You flash again. This time he comes straight for my heart, not with dual swords, but some spike-like sword. Retreat to gain some distance. I'm holding a sword I replicated in the spur of the moment. I fight against the nausea. What did I just see? Forget it. Forget you saw any of it. I just need to defeat him now. I can't afford to dwell on anything else.
計算違いか。前世の自分を高齢、憑依させることで、かつての技術を習得する魔術があると聞くが、俺と打ち合うたびに、お前の技術は鍛えられていくようだな。
Can't think I ready myself for his next strike.
となると、引き出したものは投影技術だけではあるまい。その顔、今にも吐きそうな最低の面構えからすると、お前も見たな。
He holds his breath. Don't make me say it. Don't make me remember. If you tell me what I just saw, I...
ならば話は早い。それは全て事実だ。エミヤしろ!
The red cloak flutters. In an instant, he closes the gap and thrusts the spike at me. My weapon is destroyed in one blow. The sword I hastily projected for the first time can't hold up against his weapons. And yet, he throws aside his weapon while I'm unharmed. The next projection is Durandal, said to be the sword of conquerors. I skip 4 counts and instantly project a replica of his weapon. Of course, my imitation is broken with one attack. Fall. I was pushed back and fell backwards onto the rubble. And then I'm surprised. Just that fall was enough to stain the rubble red. Huh? I just noticed that my body is dead, both inside and outside.
そこまでだ。叶わないと知ってなおここに現れる愚かさ。生涯くだらぬ理想にとらわれ、自らの意志を持たなかったまがい者。それが自身の正体だと理解したか。
His voice resounds. I'm covered in wounds. Each of them is deep enough to sink a finger into. Ugh, I'm seriously screwed.
そんなものに生きている価値はない。何よりこの俺が確信しているのだ。エミやシロウという男の人生に価値などない。ただ救いたいから救うなど。そもそも感情として間違えている。人間として故障したお前は、初めからあってはならない偽物だった。
I think the thing that bothers me the most about Archer's attitude right now is that he's, like I mentioned it before in a previous part, that Archer is just a nihilist. I am also a nihilist, but the difference here is that I am an optimistic nihilist. Now, the difference between that is that nihilists don't really believe that there's a point to anything. They just, it's a really like kind of like heavy idea for people who don't know. It's nothing matters, nothing you do matters. All of this is just all of existence is just a flash in the pan. Your existence does not matter, and it's really heavy for a lot of people. And that's what Archer represents. And being an optimistic nihilist, believe if nothing matters, then the only thing that really matters is what you care about. So it's your responsibility to give your life meaning. As such, he tried to live that way, and he just decided that it didn't work out. The thing that bothers me is that because of my own personal attitude towards life, he has not gotten a solution. He's just given up. He's saying that I have failed to uphold my ideals. The ideals have crushed me. They didn't work. It didn't work out. Fuck it, I give up. That's what's going on right now. That's what bothers me. So I'm wondering how the game is going to resolve this issue. I have almost no magical energy left. To make matters worse, my magical circuits are burning. They've been burning since yesterday's projection, actually. Something that was about to break is not completely broken after all. My body protests that But my body protests that it can still fight. I've just been playing tough, pretending that my broken heart is whole. So, I need to stand up and beat him.
無駄なことを。俺はお前の理想だ。叶うはずなどないと今ので理解できたはずだが。
But you're not the ideal self. You're a phantom of the ideal self. I invest what remains of my consciousness into all of my circuits. My nerves splinter and scream. Within myself, I weave together 8 counts without skipping a beat.
Off.
He said off, but okay. I acquire his dual swords. Hanchan Byakuya, a pair of masterworks forged by an ancient smith. I swing. I'll keep attacking over and over with all my remaining strength until I burn out. Dual swords need dual swords to intercept them. Not necessarily. It's probably better, it's probably the right choice, but not necessarily. Archer switches weapons to Kancho and Byakuya, then defends against my combo without taking a single step back.
そうか。認めるわけにはいかないのは道理だな。俺がお前の理想である限り、エミやシローは誰よりも俺を否定しなければならない。
I wonder if the voice actor for Shirou and the voice actor for Archer is the same dude. His calm words piss me off. He just keeps quipping at me while I hardly even breathe. I attack desperately. He locks our swords together without parrying me. Push back, weapons and all. There's a vast gap in our physical strength. I don't have a chance of winning and pushing the match.
では聞くがな、シロ。お前は本当に正義の味方になりたいと思っているのか。
For an instant, the sudden question makes my mind go blank.
何を今さら俺はなりたいんじゃなくて絶対になるんだよ。
Put my muscle into it and glare right back at him. He answers.
絶対にならなければならない。なぜならそれはエミやシローにとってただ一つの感情だからだ。逆らうことも否定することもできない感情。たとえそれが自身の内から現れたものでないとしても。
His heart-wrenching words stopped in my tracks. It's a desire that didn't come from within me. I deny it before I even consider what that means. I can't let him make me say it. I can't realize what he means. Deep down, I know that if I comprehend what he means, then Shirou Miya's very foundation will crumble away. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
ほう。その様子では、うすうす感づいてはいたようだな。いや、初めから気づいていて、それを必死に遠ざけていただけだったのか。今の俺では、思い出すことさえできないが。
Clamp my lips shut. I don't want to know. I know that I should know. Still, I finally realized that I have to know. Shirou Miya's paradox. The answer to what my mistake was and what's wrong with me.
俺には、もはやお前の記憶などない。だが、それでもあの光景だけは覚えている。一面の炎と充満した死の匂い。絶望の中で助けを乞い、叶えられた時の感情。エミやキリツグという男の俺を助け出した時に見せた安堵の顔を。
Okay, I recall that I asked, how did Archer know about what was going on? It's because his memories are screwed, so ignore that. I'd accept my death and my heart was empty. Then someone saved me. My rescuer smiled at me with tears in his eyes. When I saw that, I thought, he looked so happy.
そうだ。お前はただ一人助けられたことで、助けられなかった人々に後ろめたさを感じていたわけじゃない。
Oh?
ただ、エミやキリツグに憧れただけだ。
Well, that emotion comes from within.
あの男の お前を助けた顔があまりにも幸せそうだったから、自分もそうなりたいと思っただけ。
Right. Back then, I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the one who was saved. I considered a thought that I'd been avoiding. If Kiritsugu caused that fire, then the guilt would have been unbearable. It was a tragedy without a single survivor. Kiritsugu must have searched for survivors like a man possessed. And then he found one, when none were expected. He found a child that should have been beyond helping, who shouldn't even have been alive. What a miracle that must have befell. But I understood that he saved me. I didn't know the circumstances. It was good enough for me that someone rescued me from that hell. Even if that emotion was directed at himself, his will to save me, and the earnestness of wishing for someone to be saved were all genuine. And that was enough. It was enough for me that Kiritsugu Emiya saved me after I had become nothing. That's why.
子が親に憧れるのは当然だ。だが、お前はそれが行き過ぎた。エミやキリツグに。エミやキリツグがなりたかったものに憧れるだけならよかった。だが、最後に奴はお前に呪いを残した。言うまでもないだろう。それがお前の全てだと言ってもいい。
I'm overthinking something. What is he talking about?
じいさんの夢は俺だ。
That was the answer. A man even emptier than me heard my innocent words and entrusted his wish to me in relief and passed away. That was something he chose to do, though. From that moment on, Shirou Emiya had no choice but to become a hero of justice. My own feelings didn't matter. All I needed to do was become the person who I looked up to for the sake of someone I looked up to when I was young. The wish for everyone to be happy was an impossible, which came from Kiritsugu, not me.
気づいているのだろう。シロ、お前の理想はただの借り物だ。エミやキリツグという男が、
okay.
エミやキリツグが正しいと信じたものを
I understand.
真似ているだけに過ぎない。それは。
I think the way that was explained kind of made it click for me. I understand. So basically what he's saying is because we copied Shirou copied Kiritsugu so much, he had the same limitations as him. That's what they're saying. So we were too good at trying to become like Kiritsugu. We tried to become like Kiritsugu, not like a hero of justice. That's what's going on. I grit my teeth and desperately try to bolster my breaking heart. Yeah.
正義の味方だと笑わせるな。誰かのためになるとそう繰り返し続けたお前の思いは決して自ら生み出されたものではない。そんな男が他人の助けになるなどと思い上がりも甚だしい。
Which we've been saying the whole time. His blades cut through the air. His swings filled with reproach rained down on me with unprecedented aggression. As I watched the raging flurry of blows, I accepted that I'm going to die here just like I did 10 years ago. Impact after impact pounds me down. Once beautiful swordsmanship has deteriorated into brute force. My left arm trembles after blocking the strikes. The shock of it has broken my fingers holding the sword. I scrounge up every bit of mental focus I have left to create Kansha, and just barely deflect another slash. He's got me. His first assault was already pushed me near death. I won't survive this next barrage of blows. But somehow, my heart is broken. My body denies him with all of it, but my body denies it with all its might. It screams that he's wrong. Like a part of me earnestly feels that it's wrong to admit he's right and let myself die here. My eyes aren't right. They don't see my enemy. They only replays memories. Within them, there's an image of me huddled up like a turtle in its shell, trying desperately to survive. I hear more than the sounds of blades clashing. It's him. With each attack, he berates himself.
そうだ。誰かを助けたいという願いが綺麗だったから憧れた。
But take his sword strikes again and again. Yeah, he is broken. Contra was my last life.
故に自身からこぼれ落ちた気持ちなどない。これを偽善と言わず何という。
I don't understand what's wrong with this though. Contra breaks and my life begins to peter out. My chest hurts. Shinomiya's heart is torn apart, not by the waterfall of sword strikes, but by Archer's words. Like, even in the case of this, where he's saying your ideals are not your own, what's wrong with that? He's allowed to believe whatever the fuck he wants to believe. It's not like there's any original ideas out there.
この身は誰かのためにならなければならないと脅迫観念に突き動かされてきた。それが苦痛だと思うことも破綻していると気づく間もなく、ただ走り続けた。
Denial after denial. With each rejection, I lose my will to fight. My body already wants to retire, unable to take physical shock. And yet, the very same body keeps denying him, desperate.
だが、所詮は偽物だ。そんな偽善では何も救えない。
This is true.
いいな。もとより何を救うべきかも定まらない。
That is also true. I'm sent flying. I sail through the air, not unlike during the encounter with Berserker. But I plant my feet. His blow threatened to send me tumbling into the rubble, but I stand my ground with all my might. My body knows. It's stubbornly refusing to fall because it knows that I can't get up again once it does. I planted my broken concho on the ground and used it to support my weight. It's still, wait, it broke and it's still, like, there? I pitched forward, nearly falling over and can't get up. But I pitched forward, nearly falling over and I can't get up. I braced myself again against Concho with both hands, holding onto it like a walking stick. How big is that sword that he can do that? I must look pathetic. From the side, I might even look like I'm kneeling before him.
その理想は破綻している。自身より他人が大切だという考え、誰もが幸福であってほしい願いなど、空想のおとぎ話だ。
Now, I disagree with this. Or rather, I agree with this. Sorry. There's not necessarily a world where you can have both. Everyone else can be happy and you can be happy, or you should strive for that. I think that's an ideal worth fighting for. Everyone can be happy, including you.
そんな夢を抱いてしか生きられないのであれば、抱いたまま溺死しろ。
The importance of an ideal is to strive for it. Like that's the purpose of it. You can't attain perfection. You could try working for it. My life isn't worth living. Now he said that my entire life is worthless. My weapons are gone. It's futile to even stand up. Meanwhile, he doesn't even look winded, much less wounded. This duel is decided. No, it was from the very beginning. There was no way Shirou and Mia could ever match the heroic spirit of Mia. But this is wrong too. If the gap in our abilities was truly that large, then this silly scuffle wouldn't even happen. It's my heart that lost this fight. I'm weak because I realized that I'm wrong and accepted that he's right. I've only lost on that because my body has been protesting that it won't lose to you. Why else? Why else would it get stronger every time you dismiss my ideals as fake? Ancient. I know I can. If my weapons are broken, I'll just use them as they are. If everything I have is broken, then I'll mobilize everything I don't have. If I haven't lost, then there are depths that I still have yet to reach. Oof. My headache throbs again. For an instant, I see this scenery, probably for the last time. Can't understand it. But I think I can learn from his pain. He's a hero whose incantations express and judge himself. Right now, I can't understand the will behind those words. I'll accept them in your place. I chant the verse loud and proud. Mia's own words hurt him. He accepted that and chose to kill me. That's all he wanted at the end of his long journey. Then, just as you deny me, I'll strike you down if it's the last thing I do.
剣でできている。
I whisper without thinking. I look up. On the verge of death, I stand up to him. I swallow a glob of blood that was blocking my throat. Probably should have spit that out. The once fading Yang sword Concho is clothed with the concrete image of once more.
貴様まだ。そうだ。こんなのが夢だなんて。そんなこと。
I kept believing in it. What is going on with the OST? I kept believing in it because I think it's right. I followed in Kiritsugu's footsteps because it's a dream that won't come true, an impossible idea. Even if it never comes true, if I keep running, I'll get close to it one day. All right, so yeah. So the way that this is resolving is that Shiro's going to double down.
そうか。彼女の鞘。契約が切れたところで、その守護は続いている。
That doesn't make sense, but okay. I'm ready my sword. I don't care about that. Right now, I just...
お前には負けない。誰かに負けるのはいい。けど、自分には負けられない。
Oh, he did say that, I don't know if that was the original timeline or this one or both, but he did say your battle is a battle against yourself. Need to keep being Shiro and Miya until the very end. It is an unbelievable fight between swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers are broken, his limbs shredded, he hasn't even realized that he's not breathing anymore. His speed is insignificant and the blows he delivers are mediocre. He may have absorbed Archer's knowledge and advanced to a point where he can fight him, but he's back to being a boy again. He executed a haphazard mediocre attack, and yet, the first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. Apathy turns to astonishment. His sword seems to shout. The boy swings a longsword faster than his opponent ever imagined. Where is this power coming from? The vigor of their clash reaches an unprecedented pitch. The man can't even pivot to defense. Each attack is lethal enough to take his head. He judges that the situation must be taken seriously, and he moves his swords accordingly. Up and down, left and right. The 4 slashes, unleashed in an instant, are enough to cut the board to ribbons. But he blocks them. Another boy launches a blade tempest that overcomes the forward technique. He wields his longsword with swift skill. The man senses that he must attack or be cut down. The longsword assails its dying enemy. The boy swings his sword foolhardily. The two sides struggle. Sparks fill the air, declaring that any who enter the ring will be torn apart. But this should be the dying spark of a walking corpse. With each attack, the boy's breathing becomes more labored and looks closer to collapse, but he takes another step and attacks again. Having seen this, the man is sure of something. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him is a walking corpse, and yet why does the boy continue to wield the sword as if he has infinite strength? He's unconscious of it. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing, nor can he tell his attacks are working. He cries out, his muscles begging for oxygen. They demand that they stop due to lack of blood. And he pushes through it all with great force. Only one thought occupies his mind. His feelings are fake, just like this guy says he probably can't become a hero of justice. As long as Shiro Miya looks up to that goal, he'll reach the same destination as the man before him. But he felt that it was beautiful. He knows that it's hypocritical to value others over himself. But still, he longed for such a life, wondering how nice it would be to live it. It's the only motivation driving his body forward on the verge of death. He can't hear what his enemy is saying. It speaks to how fierce this clash is and how meek his foe's voice is. Looking closer, the boy's hand gripping the sword has melted with the hilt. He must have done it to secure the sword, but by doing that, he would directly feel the impact of the sword. You would do that anyway. He's bloody, and it takes a single step back to pick it up. and if he takes a single step back, he'll pitch over. The boy accepted that each swing of his sword will be hellish suffering. It irritates the man, but he takes it. It seems to offend his stubbornly persistent enemy. But he's just as irritated with himself for not backing down when he knows that even one step back would end this. How could he retreat now? There's no room for parlay now. He's in a pitched duel with his enemy. It would be shameful to turn his back on the childishly forged sword, and it would be utterly humiliating not to make the attack head on. All it would take for his enemy to destroy himself is the man to retreat one step. But he senses that he'll have to conceive with something divisive if he backs down now. Soon, this world will fade. His enemy is at his limits. 3 more attacks. If you're opposed to just 3 attacks, then his enemy will destroy himself. He clicks his tongue at his own foolishness. Just earlier, he thought the boy had 2 attacks left. Then he delivered more than 10. The boy isn't going to win. The boy's voice is inaudible. The boy who's on the brink of death frantically goes up against the obstacle before him. Then he sees him. He looks upon him with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging my sword until I reach my foe, with arms ready to fall off. The only thing that can be heard is the strained yell. The shout. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what the words here were. The shout is the Japanese words. The shout is the price I pay for each exchange of blows. There are the people who weren't saved and myself who wasn't saved. Their memories come unbidden. I swear that I'd never let this happen again. Nanka-janai. How many years have passed? There were things that were lost. Things I lost. There will always be things that I forget and I'm going to pick up. That's why I made an oath I won't forget. To become a hero of justice. To always do what's right. Even if it isn't my own wish, even if it's just a way to lighten my own sins, I'll keep that up. I'll make the dream come true. When I was young, someone saved me, trusted me with his dream, and passed away alone. I believe in that wish behind his words. Even if the whole world shuns me and the oath turns out to be a curse, I won't give it up. And then, the man realizes that there is no end to this repeating conflict. The enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. His enemy makes his attack with desperate abandon, and he isn't aware of who he's fighting. The boy is trying to cut down himself. He is the one who's doing the obstruction. The man's enemy is swinging his sword for everything he's believed in and everything he'll continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. He sees the boy keep fighting, even if he knows he can't win, even if he knows there's no point. That is the exact mistake the man once made. But that's the point. That's the point of living. That's the point of humanity. Maybe there isn't a point, but the point is that it matters to you, and that's why you keep fighting. So why? Why does he want to see how far this boy will go? He raises his longsword. The enemy's attacks can no longer be trifled with. He repels the attacks and counters with a strike meant to crush the enemy's skull with certainty. The high-pitched sound of metal. The boy repels what should have been a decisive blow. He couldn't even stop one attack until now, and he easily defended against the strike delivered with the man's full might. He holds his breath. The enemy flicks his sword and resheathes it with a single large stance. But his eyes are looking straight at him. The impact breaks one of my limbs. My sense of pain isn't numb at all. The pain is enough to knock me out, but I push through with sheer rage. I'm dehydrated. I can't afford to lose any more liquid. The enemy's left arm is wide open. He also hasn't eaten. I've lost one side of my body, so this will have to be the last blow. But that thought doesn't enter my head. All I can think is... He slashes with the longsword in an effort to protect his exposed left chest. He can make it. It would be easy to close the distance. This is my last chance. That's the only thought on my mind. Even if Shirou is a fake, this is real. He wants everyone to be happy. It's an ideal that everyone felt, sure. So I won't take it back, because this dream will always be. His gaze is straight. His stakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him, and he continues to run without stopping. I feel that the ideal itself has a couple of flaws in it. It should be like, what's the word I want to use? Amend. It should be amended. I feel like the ideal itself has some amendments that it can be used, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. The words drive straight into his chest. The attack comes fueled by hell-bent determination. There's enough time to block it. But the gears never turn in his head, and the battle draws to an abrupt close. Stab. He hears the sound of blade piercing his chest. The surprise one, of course, is the Red Knight. The boy bet everything on a desperate attack, so he would expect it to defeat his opponent. He can never afford to make any other choice anyway. So does the knight, who is surprised. Truly, he wonders why he didn't defend against an attack that would have been easy to stop. I'm about to collapse, so I lean on my good right leg. I drove Concho into Archer's chest. That is a big-ass sword.
Archer. Naze?
Has she been watching the whole time? Saber asks a question from the entrance to the hall. Archer doesn't answer. Maybe he feels that he doesn't need to, or maybe he doesn't have an answer for her. My fingers feel numb. My broken fingers tell me that they can't hold a sword in it. The Red Knight doesn't move. I might have stabbed him through the chest, but he's a servant, so he could have easily counterattacked. But his arms remain at his sides, no sign of movement. I know what that means, of course. I fix my gaze on him and declare victory. The Red Knight closes his eyes once and admits. He stares into the distance. His murmur sounds like it was meant to convince himself. I pull out the sword. The moment my projected sword touches the air, it disappears into dust. It disperses into dust as if it never existed. I finally look around, my tension drained. My lacerations look like they're on the mend, but in some places they're turning into reddish-black color. That sounds really bad. Archer said something about being Saber's sheath, but I wonder how it decides what to heal first. It heals the cuts right away, but the broken bones seem to be a lower priority. Oh. I hear hurried footsteps coming from the west side of the hall, in the direction Lancer disappeared off to. Someone's coming. She appears on the second-story terrace, jumps down from the hall floor without hesitating any. Hugs herself from the pain of the fall.
Shirou, 無事? あーちゃん、あんたその傷どうしちゃったのよ?
Did you not know what was happening? Tasaka raises her voice to match the distress with which she arrived. Lancer rescued her, just as promised. Plus, I'm honestly amazed to see Tasaka alive and well. She can't decide if she wants to check if I'm okay or be upset with Archer for getting injured.
つくづく甘い。彼女がもう少し非道な人間なら、私もかつての自分になど戻らなかったもの。
The Red Knight's words are sarcastic, but I can only hear warmth behind them. After giving Tosaka a look, he turns on his heel as if to leave the stage.
ともあれ、決着はついた。お前を認めてしまった以上、エミヤなどという英雄はここにはいられん。敗者は早々に立ち去るとしよ
う。Is it even going to say goodbye to Tosaka? He's heavily wounded and doesn't have a master. Is he going to disappear here and return to the other heroic spirits? It all happened in an instant. Here's Gilgamesh. A lethal attack just as I began to relax around Tosaka. Multiple swords rained down. The torrent of lids comes down to skewer me, and I stand around spacing out. I hit the ground. Someone pushes me, and I fall backwards onto some rubble. I was shoved about a meter away. From where I am, I can only watch. Ah, there it is. My broken limbs can't support my body, and I'm too weak to even stand up. Instead, all I can do is watch another version of me get skewered before my very eyes. Saber's challenge breaks the silence. The voice is directed at the second floor at the top of the broken stairs.
楽しませてもらったぞ。偽物同士。実にくだらない戦いだった。
貴様、アーチャー。
10年ぶりだな、セイバー。お前とはもう少し早く顔合わせをする気であったが、予定が変わった。予想外の事故ばかり起きてな。俺の思惑とはずれてきてしまったの。
It's Gilgamesh, the serpent who defeated Berserker and killed Elia. He ignores Saber's glare and looks down at me and Archer.
さて、理解したか？それが本物の重みというものだ。いかに形を似せ力を似せようが、所詮は作り物。
Oh, that's why he called him a fake. Got it. He raises a hand, as if about to command an army.
偽物が作り上げた贋作など見るのも汚らわしい。クズめ。貴様らのうちには何一つ新作が存在せぬ。他人の真似事だけで出来上がった偽物は解くゴミになるがいい。
He unleashes countless noble phantasms into the hall. An unavoidable turn falls on us. I count just under 30 noble phantasms. Even if I were still in one piece, there's nothing I can do to defend myself against this assault. Dust fills the air. The hall collapses even further, rocked by explosions. In the middle of it all, I see him, a fluttering red cloak. He runs toward me like a pincushion and gives me another shove. I watch his red figure fall in the distance. His eyes convey a firm message. You defeat him. He tells me that since he lost to me, I am not going to become the hero of justice. This is a villain I have to defeat. A cloud of dust blocks out my vision. The red cloak sinks into the rubble. I'm sure I saw him before you left. His confident eyes declare, this servant is no match for us. It won't be Saber or Tosaga who defeats him. My other self tells me that Shirou Amiya is the golden servant natural. What? My other self tells me that Shirou Amiya is the golden servant's natural enemy. My vision clears up. A layer of dust settles over the hall, now covered in a new layer of rubble. Nothing else happens. The Red Knight disappeared after he was buried under the rubble.
ほう、驚いたぞアーチャー。あの傷で他人を救う余裕があったとはな。
His soul is filled with derision? I don't think I've ever seen derision. Contemptuous ridicule or mockery. Derision. The man's lips curl into a smirk. He looks down at Archer's bloody remains. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the strongest being in this place. One wrong move and we'll fall Archer. Saber's lips are tightly sealed. She's watching for a chance to face the enemy. However, Tosaka loses her temper after losing Archer. The light flies through the air. Tosaka tries to jewel as much energy as she can and fires pure destructive energy without modifications. Gilgamesh doesn't even try to dodge it. The attack doesn't leave a scratch on him.
死に損ないを先にするつもりだったのだが、順序が変わったな、女。
So it's floating behind him, sentenced to death. They hurtle towards her at light speed. but some of them rise even faster to deflect him, protecting her master.
セイバー。リン、下がって。あの男は危険だ。手を出せば殺されます。
ほう。今のマスターはその小娘か。よかろう。ならば今の無礼は不問に付す。お前を失っては楽しみが減るからな。
Deborah just glares up at our enemy, her invisible sword at the ready.
なぜここにいるアーチャー。オウミは前回の聖杯戦争で呼ばれたサーバント。そのあなたがなぜ今回も限界している。
なぜも何もあるまい。前回の戦いが終わった後、我は消えずにこの世にとどまっただけだが。
そんなバカな。サーバントは聖杯が消えた時点でこの世との接点をなくすはずだ。ならばあなたが10年もの間とどまっていられるはずがない。
そうでもないぞ。もとよりこの世との接点は聖杯ではなくよりしろとなったマスターだ。聖杯はあくまで道を通したに過ぎん。聖杯が消えた後も魔術師が魔力を提供し続ければこの世にはとどまれる。もっとも聖杯の助力なしでサーバントを維持できるマスターなどそうはいないがな。その点で言えば俺のよりしろは魔力不足ではあった。
ならばどちらにせよあなたがとどまれるはずがない。サーバントを持つことにマスターが耐えられないならあなたは召喚者ともども枯渇しているはずだ。
それもやりようであろう。魔術回路が少なければ知識で補うのが魔術師という輩だ。その点で言えば俺のマスターはなかなかに筋金の入った男だった。
Past tense. So his master is no longer alive? No, Shinji was his master. The fact that the ungovernable Gilgamesh was following Shinji's orders was proof enough of that.
ではあなたのマスターはライダーのマスターと同じように。
ああ、事故で補えなければ他人から奪うのは当然だろう。だが実を言えばそのような手間もいらなかったのだがな。俺は聖杯を浴びた唯一のサーバントだ。この時代における受肉など10年前に済ませている。
Deborah stares at him in shock. The mention of 10 years ago seems to pain her.
そう、お前のおかげだぞ、セイバー。あれが何であるか我は誰よりも熟知している。何しろその心欲をぶちまけられ中にあるものを見たのだからな。
ではあの時あなたは。
ああ、聖杯の正体を理解したのだ。その時に決めた。あれは俺だけが扱うとな。
Speaks to Saber. Well, the Golden Serpent's decree is directed at all of us.
聖杯をあなたが使うだと。
そう、マスターなどという寄生動物に分け与えてやる義理もあるまい。俺は俺の目的のために聖杯を使おう。
And gain what?
その最大の障害であった召喚者も先ほど消えた。残ったものはよりしろにもならぬ魔術師もどきだけだ。俺の望みにはそのなり損ないこそがふさわしい。もっともお前の肉ならばあるいは完全な聖杯が出来上がるやもしれんが、さて。
The man eyes Tosaka. Tosaka shrinks away and goes a little pale, realizing how dangerous he is. His red eyes are ominous beyond comparison. Anyone would feel intensely uncomfortable under their gaze. His eyes are so bizarre that they even scare the infallible Tosaka.
バカな。聖杯はマスターが得るものだ。我らサーバントでは得られないからこそマスターに協力するのだろう。
それこそがおかしな話だ。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけでありながら聖杯を得られるのはマスターだけだというのか。
Excuse me.
しかしそれは
全てはくだらぬざれ言だ。7人のマスターによる聖杯の奪い合い、最後の一人となったマスターのみが聖杯を得る儀式だと。そんなものはただの隠れ蓑に過ぎん。もとより聖杯の恒例など済んでいる。連中は毎回聖杯を用意してから7人のサーバントを呼ぶ。わかるか騎士よ。連中が必要としたのは聖杯ではなく、その中に入るものだ。マスターなど元は我らを呼ぶためだけの回路に過ぎん。魔術師どもはな、聖杯を作りはしたが、その中身を用意できなかった。先ほども言っただろ。事故で補えないのなら、よそから奪ってくるのが奴らだと。聖杯を満たす最高純度の魔力、守護者ともいえる霊長最強の魂こそが奴らが求めたものだ。7人のサーバントとはな、もともと聖杯にくべられる生贄のことらしいぞ。
Saber stares at him in shock, her eyes trying to deny his words. It can't be true. The holy grail I saw can't be something this abhorrent, she seems to be telling herself.
驚くことはあるまい。聖杯は魂という本人でなければ制御できぬ力を純粋な魔力に返すろ過器だ。ああ、確かにそれならば願いは叶おう。魔術師どもにとっては永遠に使い切れぬ魔力量だろうからな。
Wouldn't that make more sense for it to be a philosopher's stone then?
生贄は多ければ多いほどよい。
In terms of like narrative writing.
6人ものサーバントをくべれば、それは万能と言えるだろう。聖杯が汲み取ったサーバントは5人。奴らが目指した万能の釜まではあと1人分で十分だ。
それではやはり聖杯はマスターにしか扱えない。聖杯が純粋な魔力の貯蔵庫だというのなら、扱えるのは魔術師だけだ。そうだ。持ち主となるマスターさえ優れた術者ならきっと
あらゆる願いを叶えられるか。たわけ、人間風情にそのような奇跡は与えられん。どれほど強大な力を持とうと自滅するのが人間というものだ。
Here's the fate of everything that lives to die. That's a really stupid
安心
argument.
しろセイバー。この聖杯は本物だ。きちんと7人分の英霊を組み込めば必ず原初に到達する。
え？
原初？ちょっと待った。じゃあ聖杯ってまさか。
何者かは知らんが、最初にこのルールを敷いた者は間違いなく神域の天才だろうよ。まあしかし俺には関係のない話ではある。俺はそんなものに興味はない。あるのは聖杯の門としての能力だけだ。
聖杯が門だと。
What, the heaven or some shit?
10年前だセイバー。あと一歩で聖杯を手に入れるという時、俺はお前に阻まれた。聖杯は聖剣によって両断され、こぼれ落ちたものは炎となって町を焼き払った。聖杯の真下にいた俺は当然その本流を一身に浴びたのだ。
Wonder how different he was before that, because they mentioned that that liquid corrupts.
実にくだらぬが使い道はある。数ある兵器の中でもあれほど殺人に特化したものはあるまい。あれはあのままでいい。万能の釜になどする必要はない。
兵器。聖杯がサーバントを持って生み出すものが兵器だというのか、アーチャー。
Roma is government
元々
name.
我らとて兵器だろう。あれはそれを突き詰めたものに過ぎん。聖杯とは地獄の門。一度開けば中からは56億もの呪いが溢れ出す。
Gates of hell. I guess I could have figured that out. I think they even said that in the last thing. Why would he tell us that?
聖杯の名はアンリマユ。その名の通り、すべての人間を食い潰す終わりの泥だと。
If I recall correctly, that's the name of the devil from Zoro. From what? That is the name of the devil from Zoroastrianism? What the fuck is Zoroastrianism? Zoroastrianism. An ancient monotheistic religion originating from in ancient Persia. Technically one of the oldest religions then. If it's Persian, if it's close to Persia, then it's one of the oldest religions ever. It's depicted as an embodiment of all humanity's malice, to be a reflection of humanity's goodwill. So why is the Holy Grail named after some ancient Persian demon?
あなたの目的は人間の
そう一層だ。俺は琴峰のように人間をめでようと努める気はない。めでるべきは美しいものだけだ。この世界は楽しいがな、同様にどしがたい。凡白の雑種が生を謳歌するなど王に対する冒涜だ。それでは治める気にもなれん。
バカじゃないのあんた。何が王に対する冒涜よ。人間が一人もいなくなったらそれこそ王様の意味なんてないじゃない。
死に絶えるのならばそれでよい。自らの罪で消え去るのなら生きる価値などはあるまい。俺が欲しいものは雑種ではない。地獄の中ですら生き延びられる者にこそ支配される価値がある。
Alright, so for people who've played Metaphor, this is basically Luis. Well, this is Luis's goal, I guess.
今の人間は弱すぎる。
His lips curve into a smile. For the first time, he looks at me as one of those failures.
この世すべての悪とやらが何者であるかは知らん。だが都合が良いだろ。すべての人間に等しく落ちる死の戸が。人より生まれた人だけを殺す底なしの闇。本来俺がすべき仕事を任せるにはふさわしい猟犬だ。
Gilgamesh raises an arm. Double phantasms float as they be ready behind him, awaiting his command.
では、10年前の続きといこう。あの時はくだらぬゴミが混ざったが、こたびはあのようなゴミはおらん。もっとも、それ以上にタチが悪いクズが混ざっているようだが。
All the swords turn to point at me. Try to stand up, but my broken leg won't move the way I want it to. Crap, can't even block a single one of those swords. Then why did Archer entrust this will to me? Swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly puts down his arm, looks up at the ceiling with displeasure, and brushes something up from his shoulder.
すすで汚れる。命拾いしたな、小僧。
What? Castle's on fire. I don't know if you set it alight, but it seems like a pretty intense blaze. Lancer coming in and clutch again. However, what the fuck does his clothes being dirty have to do with them killing us? The third floor is already surrounded by flames, and they've reached the second floor. No, that's not what I should be surprised about. He really decided not to fight because his clothes got dirty.
逃げるのですか、アーチャー。
場所を変えるだけだ、セイバー。聖杯は俺の手にある。ことは迅速に済ますのが俺の方針だからな。早々に聖杯を作り、地獄の穴を開けてやろ
う。His blonde hair flutters. No, it doesn't. Gilgamesh walks toward the terrace that isn't on fire.
取り戻したければ早めにしろ。何しろ今回の聖杯は急増の欠陥品だ。急がなければ中身がすべてこぼれてしまうぞ。
His muffled laughter echoes. Then he leaves the burning castle. Sparks have started to dance around the great hall, and the ceiling is crumbling by the second. Formerly ornate castle doesn't resemble itself anymore. Its master gone, it crumbles away without a trace, as if to follow the pale girl. Interlude? Shinji Matou wanders through the forest, his breathing ragged and bestial. This dude's about to fucking die. I mean, the only ending for Shinji Matou is to die. The question is, do we do it or does Gilgamesh do it? He was headed in the concrete direction, to be clear, but his mental state is utterly lost. With no objection, all he can do is run. Wandering is the only appropriate word to describe his behavior. Good lord, you're so gross. He pushes tree branches aside with one arm, splashing through the mud. Shinji heads for the forest exit, his blood stains marking his trail. Of course, the shoulder wound Lancer gave him hasn't healed. He already lost sensation in his right arm. His wound is red and inflamed, and his arm won't move, like a necrotized limb. Yeah, you got fucking stabbed, brother. He trips and stumbles into a tree. It must be difficult running with only one arm. You would lose balance, but that sounded really silly. His right arm hangs like dead weight. Then he realizes that a part of his body has become dead weight. He starts to laugh. His laugh turns into a coughing fit. It hurts. Good. He should have killed you, really. He feels hot and feverish, perhaps due to his wound. His hazy mind imagines his arm running away, and he starts to hallucinate about all the people around him also running away. Not just their arms. All those other idiots should know their place and be hurt even worse than he is. For what? For what? What did they do? Why are you so much better than they are? I'd never understand this mindset. He can't stop laughing. The thought makes the pain slightly more bearable. He has a real purpose. His first goal is to gather arms. He'll take the arms from everyone, no exceptions. Oh no, he's just a fucking sociopath. Shirou wouldn't do what he said. She's the one he likes the most. He can't stand the thought of her looking prettier than him. You're so gross, bro. You've done actually nothing your entire life. Where does this idea that makes you think you're better than people come from? I don't understand this mindset, like, at all. It makes no sense. What have you accomplished that makes you even think that you're better than people? Like, there are some characters that we've seen across all kinds of media that, like, you could kind of understand where they're coming from when they say that they're better than people because they've achieved shit, right? At the very least, they've achieved shit. He's done actually nothing his entire life. Like Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh makes sense. He's the king. He's the king of heroes. The king of heroes is obviously accomplished. It makes sense that he has a weird corrupted personality where he thinks he's better than people. Shinji's done nothing. The servant is standing in front of him. Did he get here? He stares at the servant. Please, Gilgamesh, please kill him. The golden servant looks down at Shinji, the way one might look at lifestyle. His tone is utterly disinterested. His face distorts. He glares at the man in front of him, failing to recognize that what the servant's words might have implied. Shinji rages at the servant. The golden servant nods, unconcerned.
それは残念だ。
何落ち着き払ってんだよ。遠坂がいなけりゃ聖杯が手に入らないんだろ。さあ、お前のせいで全部台無しだ。
安心しろ。予定に狂いはない。聖杯は作り出せる。
The servant speaks emotionlessly. Shinji doesn't realize that the servant's red eyes aren't even looking at him.
どうやって？いくら聖杯があってもその器がないとできないって琴峰も言ってたじゃないか。あのガキの心臓だけじゃ意味がない。あれは優れた魔術回路につなげないと聖杯にならないんだろ。
Shinji approaches the servant and berates him for his incompetence. The golden servant nods again.
だから問題ない。より代になるマスターならここにもう一人いるじゃないか。
He doesn't have magical circuits. Then he casually thrusts his arm out. Yay! Shinji doesn't realize what the noise was until the very end. His stomach feels strange. When he looks down, he sees the serpent's arm. His fist is embedded in his body. It doesn't hurt, nor is there any blood. The serpent's arm sinks deeper into his stomach as if performing some outlandish spiritual surgery.
聖杯が欲しいのだろう。ならばくれてやろう。大事なものなら二度と手放すな。
Yay! Blood vessels swell. He feels something alien swarming and writhing inside him. But then he ceases to be Shinji Matou. It must be so hard to be in the booth, voice acting, and do a scream that doesn't peak. It must be really hard. He convulses. It's just a swollen hunk of meat there now. It has no clear shape. It's made up only of naked muscle and blood vessels, sudden growths of meat and short-lived decaying meat. His mind breaks, unable to withstand the discomfort of something wriggling inside him, and then the pain of endless growth and decay. The servant watches for a while and then departs as if nothing remarkable happened.
憎いな。力ある魔術師ならば変貌することもないだろうが。ま、仕方があるまい。
Chains extend out. Chain of heavens. Oh, the chain of heavens appears in midair and binds the infinitely expanding and rotting mass of flesh. Currently, it's teetering between growth and decay, but the Holy Grail should quickly learn how to use its host. Once that happens, the growth should greatly exceed the decay. At this rate, the Holy Grail will soon be complete.
ゲテモノの方が味は良い。
Bizarre, ugly foods taste better. Well, I mean, I do like a good burger.
何より、お前ならばふさわしい泥を吐き出すだろう、シンジ。
I'm actually surprised he remembered your name. The servant chortles. Not chortles. In his shadow, the master flesh repeats, "Help me," in a no longer human voice.
Shirou, 傷はもう痛まないのですか？
そっちの方は問題ない。至って健康だし、中身だってまだ使える。
そうですか。それならいいのですが。
He ends the conversation, but it seems something else is on her mind. It's been an hour since we returned. We both have something on our minds, but nothing is said. We don't have time to be glad that Tosaka is safe for now, nor do we have time to celebrate our reunion. We are still in a dire situation. The last servant, Gilgamesh, As long as he holds the Holy Grail, we have no choice but to fight him. We don't have a plan to break out of this predicament. The more we think about it, the more we are hit with a feeling of despair. Of course, we wouldn't have anything to say to each other. Of course, we wouldn't have anything to say to each other. However, that's not the only reason we're silent. It's probably because this is the last. It will be the last time we're heading into battle. It doesn't matter what the results, win or lose, what awaits us will be the same. The Holy Grail War will end here. After that, the three of us won't be able to talk like this again. Thinking back, we only spent 10 short days together. Ah! Why does it do that? We were thrust into one happening after another during these 10 days, so much we don't even have time to think about what happened yesterday. But it's not all bad memories during these 10 days. Now thinking back, there are irreplaceable memories I've made in these 10 days. And that's the reason we are not saying anything. We don't want to admit our time together is ending, and we're swallowing the words we want to say. Osaka, Saber, and myself all have the answers in our hands. The reason we won't say it out loud is because we don't want to end what we had in the manner we have now.
じゃあ私から言うけど、私はアーチャーの仇を討つ。裏切られたし、ひどいやつだったけど、あいつはシローだったから。
Osaka says so with determination in her voice. We will face Gilgamesh. She has said it clearly that we will end this fight.
シローはセイバーにはどうしたって付き合ってもらうけど、マスターじゃないあなたには無理強いできない。あの金ピカ、シローを目の敵にしてるみたいだし、戦うのなら真っ先に狙われると思うけど。
Maybe she's being considerate. She's even giving me a reason to back out. But I have my answer already. I can't leave Gilgamesh alone. I also have a hunch that the Holy Grail he's trying to use is not something that should exist. But there's another reason why I can't back out. We will defeat him. He left behind those words and chose to keep me alive instead of himself. The same man whose existence is to deny Shirou and Mia. Now that I have made him defeat, there is only one path left for me to take.
奴を倒す。自分で戦うと決めたんだ。最後までそれを守らなくちゃ。あいつになんて文句を言われるかわからないだろう。
そう。あなたがそう決めたのなら止めないわよ。
ああ、頼む。それに聖杯は放っておけない。聖杯が奴の言う通りのものだとしたら、そんなものは壊した方がいい。今度こそ完全にこんなことを二度と繰り返さないようにだ。
Saber has been fighting for the sole purpose of gaining the Holy Grail. That hesitation and regret are not something that can be easily erased. And
承知しています。聖杯がギルガメッシュの言う通りのものならば、それはこの世にあってはならないものです。
she agrees to our plan by sacrificing her own wish.
よし。
I stand up from the floor and start walking towards the kitchen. I reach for my equipment in the kitchen, put on my apron and roll up my sleeves, getting ready for a different kind of battle.
シロ。
Bro, we haven't eaten.
何かいいアイデアでも思いついたの？
We haven't eaten.
いや、飯作ろうと思って。二人とも腹減ってるだろ？
It's been at least a full day. Like, we haven't eaten. Ignoring the dumbfounded two, I start making preparations for dinner.
話は決まったんだ。なら、あとはいつも通りにしよう。3人で夕食をとって、その後で奴を倒しに行けばいい。
I take out a bowl and frying pan. I'll use up everything I have in the fridge. There's no need to hold back. We're going to have a feast.
ええ、そうですね。いつも通り夕食を迎えましょう。私たちにはその方が合っている。
そうね。じゃあ私も手伝おっかな。セイバーはお風呂沸かしてきて。
The heavy atmosphere we just had moments ago is gone. The living room feels brighter and light. A night with the three of us together will never come again. But in order to make it feel like any other day, we do our best to make sure we can enjoy our dinner in the most lively way possible. You could see that part, or... And after we finish and clean up the Western and Japanese mixed style dinner, we resume our stargazing session. Alright, for the recording, I'm gonna end the recording here. If you're liking this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. I'm dead serious about this. That lets me know you guys are doing the views part, clearly. But if you guys want to see more stuff like this on this channel, you guys need to hit the like button. It'll get circulated more on YouTube, and yeah, it'll do well. So if you guys want me to do other like stuff in the Fate series, because I know there's other VNs to be doing out there, let me know which one I should be doing next. Actually, let me know in the comments down below which one I should be doing next. I'll also say this in the next episode, which should be the finale, but let me know. As far as Twitch, don't go anywhere. I will be taking a short break and using the bathroom. Give me 1 second.